Hey, this is Nicole here, and I'm going to be talking about my lesson plan and how I would present the instructions to my students. And I am studying to be a high school teacher in English and history. I've only completed 1 year of my program, so lesson planning is not something I'm super comfortable with. And I did, in fact, have some problems planning this lesson. Last week, I had a hard time grasping what task-based learning was and have since redone my lesson completely differently. And hopefully this matches the criteria for task-based learning. I will insert my updated lesson plan in this posting. And if anybody has extra time to have a look at it, I'm very happy to receive feedback. But it's not necessary. But if you have a few moments, I would love to get feedback. So, let's move on. So, as I was thinking, coming up with a better lesson plan to make it more target-based, I started to think about the things that interest me and the things that are important to me. And traveling is particularly important for me. And I thought, how can I integrate this into the classroom and have my students see, a little peek into the world and hopefully spark their interest in travel also. Not only that, it's a good practice for them to read English materials, use English, and hopefully one day use English in another country, if not a target language country. Even traveling around Europe, English is the go-to language, the lingua franca that Mara talked about in the beginning. So I would start off my day, greeting them and kind of checking in, seeing how they're doing, and then go into what we're going to be doing that day. I would explain to them that having language fluency is an important part of traveling and being understood and understanding others when traveling, and any practice they can do now is only good preparation for their future. So the purpose of this lesson is to familiarize them with travel planning, the different steps of that, using the target language, and then researching information in the target language. So they're going to be researching, basically planning a trip to a target language country. And in this case, I chose the west coast of the USA. It can be anything. It can be the UK, it can be Ireland, it can be Australia, New Zealand. I only chose that because I'm currently on vacation back home, and I've done a lot of travel during up and down the west coast these past 3 weeks. So it's just something currently fresh in my brain. But this is applicable to any other English-speaking country. Students will be working in groups of 3 or 4, and each student in the group will have a job. Each group will have a note taker, a presenter, a leader, and a timekeeper if a 4th person is needed. The note taker will record what they find. The presenter will present that to the class. A leader will make sure that everyone has the opportunity to participate and is talking. That's also the teacher's job as they circulate in making sure that everyone is participating. That's how they will be assessed. That everyone is talking, trying their best. If they have some problems with the English words, they're using other methods. I would prefer they don't use Swedish, but depending on their level, if they need to insert some Swedish words or ask a classmate, what is this in English, then that's suitable. But the main language here will be English. So one group will research airline tickets and try to find the best alternative. There are so many different availabilities out there, but I want them to think of them from the student perspective. Discount airlines for students. They don't really need a lot of amenities that other airlines offer, and just see what's out there. How can they get to the West Coast the cheapest way? And then I would like them to present 3 different sites. So give me the pros and the cons of each one, compare them. The second group will research the climate and tell me what kind of clothing is necessary the clothing or the climate differs greatly from Northern California down to Southern California. So depending where they're going to be visiting, they should come up with different clothing options. And again, I think three different environments or climate areas is a good chance here to cover many choices. The third group will research activities available in that area. So everybody has different interests. Some people want to spend their time just on the beach. Some people would like to go to the mountains and hike. Some people just want to come and shop. And other people might be more interested in arts and culture, visiting museums and historical points of interest and things like that. So come up with 2 to 3 different activities for different types. I know this is quite a bit for the time period, but they can split up their work during that time and come back together and have the note taker come up with or write down what they came up with, and then the presenter can later present it. And then the fourth group will investigate different forms of transportation. They can rent a car, they can use the bus, they can use the train. Hopefully they're not planning on hitchhiking. But different types of forms of transportation, if they're going to stay in one area, is renting a bike feasible, a moped or something like that. Just coming up with different ones. And again, 2 to 3 different types of transportation and comparing the cost and the ease, what the rules are, thinking about different things. So, as I mentioned, they will be assessed based on participation and effort. You will go around during the group and see if they are all participating and doing their job. These kids are a little bit older. They don't need a lot of guidance, but just making sure that they're doing their part, and it's just not one person on the computer and the other 3 are playing on their iPads. I will not point out any errors during this time. This is not the period for discussing mistakes. This is kind of just giving them the opportunity to use the language freely and just making sure that they are able to communicate. Before we actually start doing the research, when I'm still giving them instructions, we will talk about the importance of using future tense when talking about planning, like if they did this, then they could do this. They want to go here, or they will do this if they stay in this area. So there will be a little bit of grammar mixed in too, to give them the opportunity to practice that. And then we will kind of evaluate what kind of problems they had, what kind of issues came up with planning travel. And I feel like this is not enough time for this lesson plan, but it's possible that we could turn it into a week-long project. But I don't know. It depends. I'm definitely interested to hear what other people have to say. As mentioned before, I am a teacher student, so I don't have much experience in the classroom just yet. I just have a lot of knowledge from the English aspect, but not much pedagogy yet. So that's about it. I look forward to hearing what other people have to say and hearing other ideas. And good luck.